Hi there to anyone who's feeling like getting artsy with me. This is going to be my second live stream for the day, but I really wanted to paint, so I was going to do this anyways. And my boyfriend George is on overnights, so I really enjoy the time alone, but sometimes I do things and I'm like, I kind of want to hang out with somebody. So like I said, I'm just going to be painting the Ace of Swords during January's 31 Days of Tarot. Hey, Angie. Hey, Gangrel. What's up? Hope you're cleaning your room for real. During Anthony's 31 Days of Tarot this January, one of the prompts was like something along the lines of pick your favorite tarot card or pick a tarot card, paint it, and like talk to us or something. It was along those lines. And I did my card for the year, which I've never picked a card for the year for myself. And I did the Temperance card. And I loved it so much. Not the painting itself. I mean, I am really proud of the painting, but it wasn't that. It was just like, I loved the process of doing it so much. And I really enjoyed just like shooting this shit, talking, hanging out, and, being able to break down every single line, every single detail on the tarot card was something that I was not expecting to fall so in love with. Like, you just kind of learn a whole new meaning and a whole new layer to it. So this month's card is the Ace of Swords, and I had such a time with the Nine of Swords in the month of June. I thought, okay, well, let's move into a new energy. Let's not hang up on this. You know, what I've learned and what I went through is valid and it's great, and I want to reflect on that, but I also want to move the hell forward. So even though the Ace of Swords is my card, it is reversed, which it's cool. I'm cool with. But yeah, so I already sketched it out, and I am using the Rider-Waite Centennial, and I just thought I'd hang out, and I'm going to try to look at your guys' comments, but I also haven't done watercolor in a minute. So, yeah, I kind of wish I could have music on in the background too, but I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I'm allowed to do that with YouTube and whatnot, guys. So, the only thing that I'm, like, kind of bummed about is that the Temperance card has, like, really, really pretty colors, and the Ace of Swords is kind of more of, like, a muted gray, like, I don't know, brownish gray and tans. So when I got these pops of these yellow, it was really fun. So maybe I'll really make these yellow pieces pop again too. So anyways, I don't know if anybody's interested in this, but I'm here. This is what I was going to be doing anyways. I got myself a cup of tea that I will probably have go cold. And this mug was given to me by one of you beautiful people. And I'm drinking my favorite tea, Breakfast in Paris. And it's smoking hot. So, for those of you who are here with me, what are you guys up to? I mean, I know Angie's cleaning. I also have this little tester paper so that I can make sure I get my coloring right. Because I feel like the background was kind of the hardest thing for me last time I feel like it was kind of the hardest thing was making sure, and just spray down my palette here. It's so pretty you drew that. Yes, I did. I mean, it's not my original drawing, but I did draw it myself. I copied the card as best as I could, but yeah, it's not like I traced it or anything. Actually, I think I'm not going to clean my room. I'm going to beat some jewelry and be artsy with you. That's the good influence that I like to be. That would be awesome. Yeah, be artsy with me. This spray bottle is not working, honey. Let me tell you. So, I mean, there's no structure to this. Like I said, I was just going to do this anyway. So if you guys want to talk about anything, I'm down. Any questions you have, or even if I don't have to talk, that would be a shocker, huh? No, I mean, I really don't have to talk. I don't have to say anything. But if you guys have questions and you want to talk about something, this is not like I'm like, it has to be witchy or tarot or anything related. I'm cool with it being whatever you guys want. Actually, that's pretty good. I think that's still in the palette from last time. So, hanging out, I'm aging my grimoire that I got for my birthday, Miller Nature. What are you doing to age it? Are you like staining it? Are you like beating it with a chain? I mean, I've seen lots of different things to age things, but hi Ashley Sue, how are you? I sounded like Dr. Seuss just then. Okay, so hi. I know you came in like ho. I was like, what? I'm sorry. What did I do to you? I ain't no hoe anymore. I got a cute boyfriend. Um, although I'm experiencing some really big FOMO, and I'm not gonna lie. He's currently on overnights. He does this quite a bit for his work, not all the time, but it does happen. But they meaning our old roommates, so our friends are going camping this weekend, and they leave on Friday, I think. And then they are going to be, sorry, it's kind of hard for me to talk and do this, so let me get used to it, you guys. They're going to be going camping from Friday. I think George is going to try and get off as early as possible. And they're leaving to go about 2 hours up north. And they're taking the camper and everything. It should be fun, but I cannot go because I am on doula call. So I've mentioned this before, but one of our best friends is having their first child. It's going to be a girl, and she has asked me to be her doula, and I'm taking it very seriously, and I'm very excited about it. And she's technically due on the 16th, which is Monday. And so I guess if she goes into labor tomorrow or Wednesday, great. Then maybe I can still go. I mean, I'm not holding my breath for it, and obviously I'd rather be at the birth of, my friend's child and get to experience that with her and to guide the baby into the world, and I'm very, very excited about it. But I am having some serious FOMO. I am having some serious, oh, I want to go. The paper in the grimoire is handmade, so I improvised. I'm rubbing the paper with ink stain lightly and then using a spray bottle on the... Unfortunately, I can't post a pic in the chat. Oh, I'm sorry, but send me a picture on Instagram or email me or something. I'd love to see it. The last painting that I did, that I was showing you guys, the one that I did for Ethany's 31 Days of Tarot prompt, you guys can go back and watch this one if you want. It's really long, and I don't know why you'd want to watch, I don't know, maybe you would. But this one that I did before is now inside my new bullet journal, Book of Shadows, grimoire, whatever you want to call it. I'm combining all of them. And I'm not going to show you all of it because I'm going to post a video, but since this is my card of the year, it was perfect. I'd like to try and draw and watercolor as many of these cards as possible. I guess my goal is to be just breaking it down and do one a month, but I've wanted to do that for a while, and taking the time to draw it and stuff. I'm kind of a perfectionist. I don't know if you've been able to tell. So to be able to do it well kind of takes time, and I haven't found that I've had the most, but I would love to eventually do this for every single one of the cards, because like I said, I can't explain the difference that you experience when it comes to looking at, even just sketching it out. And I know that there's people who have coloring books and stuff, which I don't have. I've always wanted one, but I also just know that, and I'm not trying to be snobby, but I could just draw it myself, and you know what I mean? I don't know, I guess there is beauty in just having it already done and just coloring it in, but I think the fun of it for me, going to art school and all that stuff, is to actually draw it and get to say that I did the whole entire thing. I have to get close here, so I'm not going to be able to read your guys' comments. I just got to see the little details in between these little leaves and know where I'm painting and what I'm painting for a second. But I would love to have one of these for every card, because it's so funny, because Temperance wasn't one of those cards where I was like, oh, I don't like it or I don't know it or whatever as well as the other ones. I definitely can say since the beginning of the year I felt more connected with it being my year ahead card because I have been more aware of certain things and I've acknowledged different events in a different way with knowing that it is my year ahead card. But, oh my gosh, this is such little detail. Sorry, hold on. But sorry. I have to fix all this stuff. I kind of like how loose the background is, though. It's kind of like that on the other one, but this one's getting a little darker, so maybe I'll have to pick up some of this color. Every time I see the Temperance card now, I feel a different level of connection than, or a different level of intimacy. How about that's a better way of describing it. I feel so intimately connected with the Temperance card because I've literally looked at every single little line and every single shade of the color in the card. Trying to recreate it, I just became really, really familiar with it. And it's, when I'm going through the deck, I like crave that intimacy with the rest of the cards. And that's the only way I can really describe that. If you guys are asking me questions, I could not see them just then. So, anyways, let's see. Did you ask me anything? Hey, Sam. Love watching people paint and draw. It's so relaxing. Watercolor is my favorite. I just started using watercolor pencils and I love them. I don't think I've ever used watercolored pencils. I've always wanted to. I go back and forth. I majored in painting in college, and I'd say that, like, my first love was oils. Like, well, I started with acrylics, but there's hair on here. Y'all, this is not okay. I'm pushing around all this color anyways. Okay. But I don't know. I'm finding that I really enjoy watercolor more now, and I don't know if it's because it's like easier for me to just set up and go and the cleanup is easier and all that jazz, but there's something about oils, there's something about the smell, there's something about the thickness of the paint, being able to work over it the next day if I layer it on thick enough. And I don't know, I guess maybe it's more the like nostalgic feels for me, but I love oil paints. But watercolor is so, you have to be really open with watercolor because it is not very forgiving if you don't know what you're doing. And even if you know what you're doing, it's not very forgiving of a medium. You guys think amethyst goes with a seashell jewelry rise, or should I get a pearl bead? Oh, well, what about both? Oh. No, sorry. Gemini. Just get rid of everything. Oh my gosh, that would be so pretty. What are you making? That sounds so cool. Whatever it is. Seashell. Oh my god, I love amethyst. Amethyst and a pearl. With a seashell? Yeah, I don't know. Amethyst is... I think if the amethyst is calling to use with the seashell, then yes. Yeah. What she said. Do what feels right. Do what feels right. I just got excited. I'm sorry. The background is already darker than I want it, but I guess we'll just make everything darker and it'll even out. Is that a theory? Yeah. I think the last time I did this, I was afraid to get it too dark, so I started like super, super light, and I think I remember layering on another one. It's kind of interesting though. Well, to me it is. This is probably super boring, but you can't really tell with the lighting. But this is like, this background is very gray, whereas this one's kind of like more true beige. Beige-ish? I don't know what I'm saying. A necklace using the seashell I found in Florida while on vacay, and it already has a hole in the perfect spot. That sounds so pretty. I make jewelry, so sometimes I just go with how I feel instead of thinking what will go right. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. That's do what feels right. Always. Always, guys. Always do what feels right. I mean, sometimes it's nice to just get advice because, you know, maybe you'll get the advice and think, nope, they're wrong. And then you'll know what your choice is anyways because of the way you reacted to the advice you were getting. But always go with what feels right. Hi there. Hi, Chaos Dabs 420. I just got kids to bed, now chillaxing. Well, I am by myself again. And if y'all saw my Instagram story, and I talked about it today in the live stream this morning, the spirits in my home were like having a field day. Honestly, haven't had that much experience in my home in quite some time. And not that, like, it didn't really scare me. It only just spooked me because it, like, a lot of people were like, oh, I'm sending good clearing vibes to you and stuff like that. Like, it's not bad, you guys. Like, I'm very aware of the energy in the house. Like, I'm very aware of the spirits in my house, and there's at least 2 children. I feel like currently there's, like, most of the time 2 children, boy and a girl, and they're really, like, fast. Like, they run, they jolt by me. The air is, like, swooshed past me, like, from waist down. I talk about this a lot. Like, and then there's an older woman, not an old, but an older woman. And then there's a female, a younger female who is around my age, but she's not with the house. She's with me, and has been for a while. I just have only now started to, like, hear her and feel her more closely. But everyone is like, oh my god, is your house haunted? I'm like, no, it's just what happens when I'm, it's not my house, it's just me. Like, everywhere I go or wherever I am, I just feel things and see things, like most of you guys, I think, on my channel can relate to. I ain't the only one picking up on spirits, but let me tell you, even earlier, like, somebody that I'm friends with that isn't part of the community but is interested in this sort of stuff kind of messaged me and was like, hey, is there, you know, she was just asking and stuff, like, hey, is your house haunted and everything? And as I was, like, explaining what I just explained to you guys, there was, like, something inside this desk. I was, like, laying on my bed behind me. Something on this desk was, like, rolled and rattled inside of it. I was like, oh my god, they're hearing me. Hi, Sammy. This live stream is so cool and perfect because Ace of Swords is my card of the day. That's awesome. It's my card of the month. I've got watercolor pencils are great. Hey, Sam. Yeah. Hi. Sorry, I'm, like, trying to, it's hard the angle that I have it at the phone, so I'm reading your guys' comments, but I have to keep taking breaks because I'm also watching what I'm doing. Have you ever taken something with you to someone else's home, spirit-wise? My friend thinks I did. Do you ever think you took something from or to? Have you ever taken something with you from somebody else's home, spirit-wise? My friend thinks I did. Yeah, I have. My most recent situation I was going to talk about in my 9 of Swords recap video, but to be honest with you, there's so many other things that I want to cover. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to describe this situation, so maybe I'll just tell you guys now. And then if it comes up, I'll just say it again in that video. But, okay, so at the beginning of the month, Allie, my best friend who's, like, living here, she is trying to find her own place, and that was, like, the deal from the beginning. Well, she was just supposed to stay with us, you know, until she could move back, because she was living in Ohio, and her dad passed and everything, and it was really sad, but he had been sick for a while, and she kind of picked up when it got really bad and he passed, and she's been living with me. So she's been looking to find her own place for a while, and she finally found this place, and she packed everything up and worked really hard and all this stuff. Where are these little hairs coming from? BB! She worked really hard, and she had this place, and I hadn't seen it, and she was supposed to move in the next day. This was on a Thursday. And she had been asking me like all week, like, will you come and stage the house? Will you come and stage the house? Like, will you come and stage the house? And I was like, yeah, I will. Like, I'm like, it is better, but I was really busy or something. And I was like, yes, I will, but like, it is better if I can do it beforehand, but it doesn't matter. Like, you can move some of your stuff in. Like, I can do it when you already moved some of your stuff in. She's like, no, I want you to do it. I want you to do it. And in the back of my mind, like, subconsciously, I was like, okay, why is she being so persistent about this? I mean, she's a double Virgo, so she's pretty persistent. But I even asked her, I was like, were you even consciously aware of how much you knew the house needed to be saged? Or did you just really want me to do it? And she was like, I just really wanted you to do it. But like, after talking with her and running through and running down like the events of how things happened, I think on some sort of subconscious level, she knew that like the energy wasn't the greatest. Now, I'm not saying there was like evil or dark or anything like that. When we walked into the home, I just felt like it was so stagnant. It was like that feeling when you're trying to wake up and you just don't want to, and you're just really, really tired. So like that's kind of what it felt like. Like I've described being in a house with like definite negative energy that did not want me there. This did not feel that way. It almost felt like I was under the influence of something, if that makes any sense, I guess. I felt like my brain wasn't working right. I felt like it was like heavy and lazy. Like I told her, I said, who used to live here? Because immediately when I walked in, I was like, this was not a productive environment recently. Like maybe in the past, but the energy currently is not of a productive energy. Like there's no fire in here. I was like really, really kind of like a reversal, stagnant Pentacles vibe without any pros. So like I love me Pentacles vibes. I'm an earth child all the way, but like I know when I need to put some fire underneath my ass and get things going. And like I was like, whoever has lived here did not get anything done. And we walked in and I started saging the place. But I brought Palo Santo just to be nice with the smoke, and some people don't like the smell of sage and stuff. So brought Palo Santo. I'm going around doing my energy work, just trying to like get the place going, getting it moved. Like I was just feeling like, oh, it was just weird in there. Like everything felt so stagnant. And oops, I bummed you. And then we got to this one room, and by the way, the house is trashed. Like there's nothing inside of it, but there's like stains all over the wall. Just like not what she was told at all about how the condition of the house was going to be. And I'm trying to be a supportive friend but also kind of like telling her like, this is not okay kind of thing. This isn't fair to you. Like, you've already put a down deposit on this. Like, they shouldn't have left it like this. Like, we walked into the one room, and it was just, like, hardwood floors, and there was animal piss all over the hardwood floor. It smelt in there. Like, it was not clean. All the door handles and all the doorway, like, the sides of the doors were, like, caked with nasty, like, she was really upset, but she was so excited to move that like I didn't want to take that from her. I know this story is really long. I'm just shooting the shit, so it is what it is. Why is this side so dark? I'm not okay with this. I need to lift some of this color, and I'm afraid. Ugh, watercolor. So where's my other, oh, I have it in my lap. So anyways, going around, and I'm smelling the animal animal, but like all of a sudden her and I are talking through like she shouldn't live here, she shouldn't, you know what I mean, like what is she gonna do? What did it do? Hi everybody. Hi. It's the side of my face. It just disconnected me. It did that earlier to me and I don't know what it was. Y'all got a little glimpse of the upper of my nostrils there. Yeah, I don't know why. Why does he keep doing this to me, you guys? All you're seeing is up my little nostril. I wonder why it's doing that. It's making me very upset. Don't do that to me, phone. Okay. Anyways, let me speed up the story here. Started talking through it. All of a sudden, we're in the room with the cat pee, all this stuff. And her and I hear this bell in the kitchen. Like a very high-pitched, jingly bell. And we kind of looked at each other like, what the hell was that? Like, what was that? And I don't think we right away were like, it's ghosts. We were just like, what was that noise? It clearly came from inside her apartment or her part of the house that was going to be hers, but we had no idea what it was. And then we both kind of acknowledged that it started to feel weird in there. Oh my gosh, something just brushed up against the left side of my leg. And my app keeps freaking stopping and it's driving me crazy. Listen, I'm trying to tell a cool story. If this is spirit working, let me do my thing, okay? So then oh my god, you guys, I can't talk. So then we're standing there and she goes, I feel really weird. And I was like, I feel weird too. I was like, bad weird? She's like, no, I just like feel like there's a lot going on. Like feels like there's a lot. Tell spirit to chill out for a second. I know, right? Like, how rude. Don't interrupt me. So, all of a sudden, we're standing there, and we're trying to, like, sense the room. And I was like, there's something here. But it's different. Like, it's weird, right? And then I felt something brush up against my ankle. Like, when I say brush, a lot of the times it feels like this, like, or someone's tapping or poking or like this or whatever. This was like full body, like brushing. Ooh, that was good. Here, this is what it looked like. Up against my ankle. And I literally was like, whoa. She goes, what? I was like, something just actually brushed. Like, it felt like something was just brushing up on my ankle. I was like, I swear to God, it's a cat. I was like, it's a freaking cat. Which is so weird because I don't really pick up on animal energy like that. I mean, maybe I do and I just don't realize it. But we were in that room with the pee and I was like, am I just subconsciously thinking that it is? Like, and it was so true. And we heard that bell in the kitchen and once I registered that it was a cat brushing up against me, it registered that the bell in the kitchen was like a little collar, like a bell on a collar. And we were like, this is so weird. Like, this is really weird. Let's just go. We'll talk about it more. We talked about it in the car. And I left, right? So that night, she's really upset. We talked about it in the car. She realized she was going to try and break the lease and not live there. And that's what ended up happening. But we both go to sleep. And in the morning, she's like, I had the weirdest dream. I'm like, same, girl. I had the weirdest experience. So her dream was that we were in the house and it was like a recreation of what happened up until we never went into the basement, right? We just didn't need to. It was dark. It was creepy. And like we ended up leaving before we even had a chance to. So in her dream, she's like going down into the basement and there's like tons of cats. Like, I can't remember if she said they were all in cages, but it was like a kitten mill. Like, they were all like really upset and hurt and hungry and really wanted milk, and they were like crying, and they weren't really taking care of it all, and they were like all over the basement, right? So I'm like, that's really freaking weird, because I had a dream, but I wasn't really sure if it was a dream or not. So my dog picks up on energy of spirit, but she doesn't really react in a negative way, or it doesn't really scare her, and sometimes you don't even notice. Um, but there's been a few times in a past apartment where all of a sudden she'll be fine, and then she'll start like growling at the top corner of the room, and it was like the same time or right before I felt a shift in the room of the energy in the room. Um, so I'm sleeping and I wake up for a second and I'm like, whoa, there's something in the room, and it just woke me up, but it feels different. It feels weird. Like it doesn't feel like human, but it doesn't feel negative, right? It was just really weird, you guys. So I'm like trying to sense what this is. Like, is it negative? Like, I don't know. Did I take something with me? What have I done? You know? And Phoebe starts growling and bearing her nails down in the corner of the bed, and her hair is on edge. George is sleeping like a baby, per usual. And he's just like growling. So she's growling so hard at the corner of the wall. And I'm like, Phoebe, stop it. Stop it. And she will not stop growling. And it's so weird because she never does that. Normally she'll like give a little bark or a yelp. She won't growl like that. So then I'm like getting freaked out. Like, okay, maybe I'm not sensing that it's negative and it is, kind of thing. And I kind of drift back to sleep, right? And a little bit later, I'm not really sure the timing or whatever, but a little bit later, I wake up again and she's growling at the corner again, but I cannot remember for the life of me if this is a dream or if this was reality or if it was somewhere in between or what. Does it really matter? I don't think so. But I envisioned this pink crystal or this pink glowing energy like hovering above the bed, and it was like illuminating the bed, and Phoebe was growling at the corner of the room again. So when I awoke and Allie told me her dream, I was like, oh my God, a cat spirit followed us home. That's why Phoebe was so upset. And the reason with the pink crystal is because I brought a rose quartz to the room. I brought it to the house to, for its energies of love and self-love and, just to have a gentle vibe and stuff, which is not actually what I would have liked a different crystal if I would have known. But I accidentally left my rose quartz on the window ledge in the room of where the cat pee was and where we felt the cat and everything. And I didn't remember it. And I feel like it really liked the energy of the crystal, but when we left, it wanted to come with us or something. I don't know, but I feel like that's why Phoebe was like extra growly, was because it wasn't a human, or it wasn't in the same energy form. It wasn't on the same plane as what she's used to. And this cat was not invited by her. So, I don't know. That's my super effing long story. Why did it take me so long to describe that? I don't know. Sorry, guys, but that's what happened. And that's why I was like, it didn't feel negative. Like, it just didn't feel the same. And clearly, Phoebe was like, girl, you can't be showing up in the corner of my room uninvited like that. And Phoebe's okay with cats, but I don't know. And after Allie had her dream, like, of the cats in the basement, and it was just so weird. So, to answer your question, the most recent time I felt like I've brought something home, and I don't know if I can clearly give you a story of another time, because I'm pretty good at protecting myself from stuff like that. And I think the reason why I was so vulnerable and open to this cat coming home was because I didn't really care. And also I was so concerned with like Allie's emotional well-being that I kind of didn't do my spiritual work and close myself off or shield myself from that like I normally do. I was just really concerned for her because I'm such a good friend. And I just wasn't really thinking about it. So I think that's what happened, but after that night, nothing happened. So I think Phoebe scared her away. Or him. I don't know. Could have been a boy cat. Anyways, any other questions that I could take a friggin' half-hour answering? Because that would be cool. I don't understand why my live streams keep ending, but I'm having to restart it. I have to look into that. This looks so much better when I add the lines afterwards. It's crazy. So do not lose hope on this yet, guys. I swear it'll get good. I swear. Or maybe it looks good to you now, but to me it's like, I'm looking through the viewfinder though, and also looking at what I'm drawing. Oh, hey, you guys are saying some things. Hi to anybody who has come in and I was blabbing about spirit. Honestly, that's honestly kind of a cute story. Yeah, it's cute. I don't deal with negative shit, okay, you guys? Like, it ain't welcome. It doesn't come around. And when I sense it, GTFO and don't look back, because I ain't about that life. So, to be honest, I don't have any dark stories because I don't welcome that into my life. So even the unwelcomed wasn't really unwelcomed. It was just kind of like, oh my god, what are you doing here? I did not expect you. Let me put out a milk dish for you. Because I really want a cat. Oh, I have to leave for work soon. This is so much more interesting. Hi, the Barefoot Taurus. Didn't even know you were in here, but where are you? Or you have to go to work? Do you work night shifts, or are you on the other side of the world or something? I'm such a cat lady, so give me all the cat spirits. Yeah, I think if I would have called on it or been more like aware of what was happening, I would have been totes down for a cat spirit. But also I think just like the situation and like how Allie was so upset. Oh no, I got blue in it. Hold on, no, I can't do that. Actually, for the next part, that'll be a good thing to add blue to, but not yet. Not yet. Oh my gosh. See, I'm really glad that I went live, even if this is so not interesting. Some of you were saying that it is, but I was going to do this anyways, and this is like therapy for me, but now it's therapy on top of therapy, because I'm just saying whatever comes to my mind. If you guys, again, if you guys have questions about something, let me know. It might take me a year to answer them, but I'll answer them to the best of my ability. I can't even describe to you guys. Oh, I tried to earlier. I shouldn't say that. Like, it's just so cool to draw the tarot. Like, even if you're not good at drawing it, and maybe trace it, and you become so aware of the little things. Like, even if you read tarot every single day for multiple times a day for clients, professionally, or for yourself, or whatever the deal is, like, when you draw or color the tarot or try and paint a tarot card, the things that you notice are so different than what you would expect. Like, and I know at some point in my life, I feel like I will create a deck, whether it's Oracle or Tarot or whatever, and even if it's for myself, or I produce it for others to purchase or whatever, I just feel like that's, as they say, in the cards for me. I just don't think that, I feel like I would want to draw them as they are in the Rider-Waite first, and become so connected with them in this sense, and then take my spin off. Not that if someone's watching this and they're not doing it in that approach, it's not okay. It's just, I think for me, this is so fulfilling. And I've wanted to redo this or do this again ever since I did the first one in January. Okay. Graveyard. Oh, that's oh, I gotta go back. Oh my gosh. I would love to have a cat spirit following me, to be honest. Yeah, I know, I'm kind of upset. Like, can it come back for a minute and just, like, kind of introduce itself nicely to my dog so that it can be friends? Because I really want a cat. So I can't have one in the physical world because George is, like, so against having a cat. And it breaks my heart because I want one so bad. So maybe I'll just call upon a spirit one. One of my cats is obsessed with my rose quartz. Really? So that's funny you mentioned that in a story. Really? I did not. That's cool. That just made me stumble a little bit. Yes, graveyard shift. 10:30 to 6:30. The only good thing is that it's so chill. I get to make videos while at work, so it's kind of like getting paid to do YouTube. That's amazing. Barefoot Taurus. I feel like I know your channel, and I'm really sorry if maybe I've commented and I don't remember right now. But if you want to send me a link, I'd love to see some of your videos. FYI, the amethyst in the shell. Perfection. I followed my gut. Yay! Angie, I'm so excited to see what you're cooking up over there. Okay, I need to finish with this color, but I need to dry. Is this part? This part is kind of... I'm going to have to use my loud blower for like 2 seconds so that I can continue with this color. You guys are not going to like what that sounds like. I think I had to use it last time though. And it was fine. It only took like 2 seconds. What are y'all saying? Are you saying something? It is. He always rubs his face all over it. That's so weird. It's honestly super simple, not that exciting. My necklace, I mean. Sometimes the simplest jewelry is the most amazing. Okay, I need to use this blower for like 2 seconds. So if you guys have headphones in or anything, watching this on a playback or watching it live, just hold your eardrums for like 2 seconds, okay? Oh, it ain't even that bad. But at least I warned you. It ain't even that bad. Okay. Done with that. Just because I gotta get right up on this bad boy over here, and I don't want it bleeding because I like the edge that it created itself. So we're gonna keep the edge. Watercolor is so cool, guys. I love watercolor. So what is everybody else doing that's just joining in? Let me know. What are you guys doing? What time is it for you? Are you just hanging out? Are you literally just watching me? Are you folding laundry? Are you playing with tarot cards? What are you guys doing? I guess it doesn't really matter that it's separated because I'm going to go back with the black pen afterwards and redraw all the lines, and it'll probably get all mixed up, but oh well. Maybe not. Is there any other part of this color? No? I know this has a little bit in here. Just a little bit. Okay. Anybody? Oh, hey, you guys are saying stuff. When I went to the shelter for my dog, I met this black cat and we connected so well. He snuggled with me even though it was the first time we met. My parents didn't want a cat, so I couldn't adopt him. Oh. You know, Michaela, my boyfriend's daughter, just found a black cat. And I had one green eye and one blue eye. And it's like, that's like my dream cat. And it was so devastating that we couldn't keep him. Heather said, journaling, sipping on some wine. Oh, I can't wait to see this when it's all done. Me neither. It actually shouldn't take that long, but I am really taking my time with it. So, yeah, okay, I'm going to come back in with this over the top and whatever. Because it's going to be... I'm I'm gonna go in with the black lines anyways, so it doesn't really matter if it's separated. I'm gonna separate it by force. Alright, so do you guys have any other questions? Like, I feel like just not even saying anything, which is fine, I guess. Hey, nice mug. What are you sipping on? I'm actually sipping on the Breakfast in Paris stash that I love. And yeah, some cute little girl got me this really sweet mug. It's pretty cool. I don't know if you know her. Okay, let's get some more color in here because this is darker than what it is taking. And we'll move on, because I'm sick of this brown, gray shit down here. I have to color in like the bluish part down underneath though. So does anybody else work with watercolor? Sam said she just bought, oh, see, there it is, it's blended. Oh, well. We'll just blend it all and I'll do the pen to divide it. Okay. I still have to try that tea. It's by Stash. Yeah, it's called Breakfast in Paris. We are all being creative with you. I guess we did do the random rants video. Yeah, we did. We're all hanging out. I wish I learned how. I only ever worked with acrylic, so basic. Acrylic was my first love with painting, and it's still an amazing medium to work with. But like when you go to school for painting and stuff, they're like they really want you to learn other mediums. And so that's really how I got into like watercolor and stuff. Honestly, I haven't mixed really any of the colors. I'm just using whatever's dried up in the palette. Like, there was a lot of colors. Look at how dirty and weird my palette is. And I'm just kind of pulling from different things and it's working for me. Which is always fun. And actually, I see this blue over here might work really well for down underneath. Oh, yes. This is going to be great. This is perfect. Okay. More blue, more blue, more blue. Okay. Too much ink, Sam. Too much color. This is like so meditative for me. Art is kind of always what I've wanted to do in my free time. And now it's a lot of like tarot and stuff, but being able to combine the two is so awesome. Like when I was a little kid, or even in my like teens and stuff, all I wanted to do was do art. Do art and not speak very good English, that's for sure. All I wanted to do was art. I'm pretty sure the ice just rattled in the fridge, but if not, something just moved in my kitchen. It's fine. It's fine, you guys. No need to worry. It's little children's spirits at play. No big deal. I feel like half of you guys are on board with what I'm saying, and the other half is just like, this girl is batshit crazy. She like full out believes that there's children's spirits in her house, aka my boyfriend. He's probably just like, oh, this girl, she's crazy town. But I like it. Okay. I'm telling you guys, I can sense it. I don't know how to describe how I sense it, but I just know. That's good enough, right? I'll go in with the, and do the little pen dividing. I feel like I need to pick up a little bit more of this color though. It's got a little dark over here, comparatively. Okay. All right. All right, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? I would love to get into painting, but I don't know where to start. We have a Heather. We have 2 Heathers. Oh. I do, but I haven't gotten a chance to paint recently. Yay, this is my first time watching a live video. I love it. Sorry. This is an interesting live stream to start on. I hope you're enjoying the mess that it is. But I'm just hanging out. Like I said, I was going to do this anyways. And so why not pop on live and kind of paint with you guys, especially if it's a tarot card. I had always wanted to go to the Art Institute in Chicago. My mom said art wouldn't get me a real job, so I had to change career ideas. Art is a very difficult thing to pursue, to be honest with you. I never suggest turning away from your dreams and what you really want. But I can tell you that the Art Institute in Chicago is really cool. And to be honest with you, Detroit's Institute of Art is amazing. Like, it's really underrated, I think. We have really cool exhibits that come and really cool, I don't know, like the building itself, the history in the building itself is so cool. I had one experience there where, hold on, I'm trying to get the right color for this sword. I don't know why I'm going straight in with this sword, but I just feel like we need to conquer it here. I feel like the sword is calling to me. Okay, that's a better blue. What are you guys saying? I love how chill Sammy is with spirits. Yeah, like, whatever, it's fine. Does George ever sense ghosts in the house? No, Heather, never. No. In fact, he's constantly going around trying to debunk me, which sometimes is annoying and sometimes is nice because he, like, grounds me and kind of brings me back sometimes. You know, it's good to keep a level of skepticism. It's good to keep a level of, like, questioning, to what's happening. I honestly appreciate that, but I would say no. However, he has denied this a few times, but I will never forget that he said this. And I've mentioned this before. I kept for a while, and I hear this a lot, but there was like a little bit, maybe last year or the year before, when this female started to introduce herself to me. Pretty sure I know who it is now. But before I would go to bed, she would like scream in my ear. I'm like, listen, lady, if you want to communicate with me, this is not the way to do it, okay? Like, you do not wait till I'm about to go to sleep and then just scream my name in my ear. She'd be like, Samantha! I'm like, what? I would like scream and like wake up. He'd be like, what's wrong? I'd be like, I don't know. Someone just screamed my name in my ear. And he's like, what? I'm like, it sounds like it's inside my ear. Like, not in my head and not outside. It's like the bubble that's in between my head voice and my, you know, the external noise voice. And this kept happening over and over again. And I was like, that's never happened to you before? And he's like, no, it's never happened. And all this stuff. And then one day he came home from work and he was like so effing casual about it. And he was just like, oh yeah, I heard my name the other day. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I was like taking a nap in my car on my lunch break. And I was about to fall asleep and I heard like someone scream my name. And George does not joke. George does not tell tales. Like, if he says something, he means it, you know? And so I was like, was it female? What did it sound like? He's like, yeah, it was female. And he's like, I don't really remember. That's all it was. I was like so intrigued, but trying not to like push him too far, you know? But he was like, yeah, it was just like you described it. Like, it was in my head, but it wasn't in my head. Like, he's like, I heard it and it screamed my name and then I like jumped and then that was it. And then I just kind of like let it go. Like, yeah, it happens. But I felt so good that he had experienced it too. But then recently, like, I've asked him about, like, well, I was like, well, you've heard your name being shouted before. He's like, no, that's never happened. And, like, I know it's not because he lied. It's just that because he's either pushed it away so far down, or he, like, doesn't want to talk about it, or whatever the deal is. So, no, he doesn't experience spirit in the house. He's very supportive of me. I think the spirit thing is harder for him to accept than the tarot and stuff like that. And that's okay, because everybody's different. Like, he's so supportive of me, you guys. Like, I do a lot of things that, you know, he's not particularly, like, interested in, I guess. It's not that he doesn't believe in, because he is a spiritual guy, and he does have a spiritual mindset. But it's just really watered down for me. Like, you know, on the scale of, like, George to me, he's on one end and I'm on the other, but we still have the same sort of beliefs, you know, at the core of it. And, yeah, so he does not, I would not say that he sees spirit, no. That's my answer for that. Hey, any other questions I got that I can make longer-winded than necessary? That would be cool. I'll check them in a second because I'm trying to make sure I do this, like, gradient of blue right. Yeah. You know what I was thinking about today when I was thinking about going live with this was how art school is kind of frustrating. I'm sure how every type of school is kind of frustrating, but I feel like sometimes art school stifled me. Oh my god, you guys are talking. I am so on board. I moved into my new place and it's completely normal until I put my grandmother's stuff out. Then boom, she sasses me regularly now. Me too. I'd love for her to come to my house and see if there's any spirits because I don't think I can sense them, but I can't be sure. Now, with that attitude, Ashley, I think that it happens so much because I am so nonchalant about it, because at this point I'm, like, so aware and so accepting of the energy, and so, you know, I'm so closed off and protected to a point, but I'm open to receiving messages and to interacting and stuff, so I feel like that's why it happens more regular to me, is because my doubt-o-meter is kind of broken at this point. Which is why I said, like, it's kind of nice that George is trying to kind of, like, debunk some of the things. Ghosts act like alarm clocks. They really do. When did spirits start reaching out to you? Heather Young, good question. Like, oh, that's a good question. I'm gonna say ever since I was young. I know that's, like, really cliche. I don't know if I can even think of any, like, specific moments. I feel like at one point I've heard a story in which when I was younger I would say in my crib, like, or, like, I was a toddler or something. I don't know if I would have been saying things in a crib. Anyways, I feel like I've heard a story along the lines of, like, I was really young and I had said the name of a deceased relative on my mom's side that, like, I never knew and that they never talked about. Not because it was, like, a bad energy, but it was just, like, non-really related to me and my life and everything. Obviously I don't remember that, and maybe my mom doesn't even remember that, but I think at some point somebody along the lines had told me that. However, the first serious interaction that I can remember of being, like, picking up on energy differently and, like, interacting with things differently. Heather says, I was told similar stories about myself. I feel like that's just how it goes. Kids are very receptive. Yeah, they have no, well, first of all, they're fresh into this mindset. They're fresh into this world. They're fresh into, like, the way of things. And, you know, they're not really taught doubt. They're not really taught fear. They're not really taught that until later in life or along the way and stuff. Sometimes their instincts kick in, they get startled and they'll cry, But like actual fear or doubt or stuff like that is not really a part of a kid's, it's not really a part of their vocabulary even before they're speaking, you know? But when I was in middle school to high school, I started having really bad panic attacks. And I don't know if that was related. I guess looking back, it probably was, because I was so empathic that I would pick up other people's feelings. And a lot of people, empaths can relate, or even maybe people who don't know what empathic is, or maybe don't really even consider themselves empathic, can relate. But when you're 15 and 14 and 13, you just are so much energy is going on with hormones and all these things, and it's really easy to get swept up in other people's energies, or, you know, connecting yourselves and attaching yourselves to other people's energies and stuff. Is it bad that spirits really scare me? No, it's not bad, but I would look in a little deeper to why they scare me, or what about it scares you, or do you feel like they're actually going to harm you, or stuff like that. I had awful anxiety at that age because I felt like I was being suffocated by the energy and emotions around me. Yeah, so I was experiencing really intense deja vu when I would get around crowds, when I would get really tired. So like at concerts or in the cafeteria, or when I was like really tired or out of it or emotionally drained, I would experience these really intense deja vus that would last for a very long time. Trying to make sure there's no other blue going on in here. There really isn't that much color. We're almost done with the color portion. And then we're going to outline. But, which it's really going to come to life when we outline it. It's going to be great. These deja vus were, and that's the best way to describe them, they would last like insanely long, and everything would go so slow, like a typical deja vu, except for I felt as though there was a point in which time got ahead of me, or vice versa. I don't know how to explain it. And I would start to, like, when you're in a deja vu, you're kind of like, oh, I've been here before. This is crazy. This feels like I've been here before. But in these deja vus, it would start off like that, and then I would be like, no, actually, this has happened before, and this person said this, and then this happened. And I got to a point where it got so intense that the only thing to keep me like calm through it was to actually vocalize it to somebody. So I'd be sitting there like in the cafeteria or doing something, and it would happen, and I'd be like, whoa, deja vu, and then I'd be like, no, wow, like everything feels like I'm in a fishbowl, and everything feels like I'm like just overwhelmed, and like I kind of want to like go to sleep. And then all of a sudden I'd be like, it won't go away, and I feel like X person goes like, says this, and then 2 minutes later that person says that, and they never heard me say that out loud, and the person next to me goes, that's crazy, like what did you just do? And I'd be like, yeah, and I feel like the person over there trips and drops their tray, and then they tripped and dropped their tray. It was almost as if like time or whatever was happening to me, like I slipped into a weird universe, or I was psychically picking up on things, or maybe it really had replayed again. I'm not sure to this day. And I wouldn't even say that I was picking up on spirit so much. Sorry, I bumped the thing. Picking up on spirit so much as I was like so in tune with the energy around me that I got really, really overwhelmed. And I started to like prophesize things before they were happening. And this happened multiple times. And there's multiple people I could call up right now. And I haven't talked to in decades or something. And they would just be like, yes, absolutely, yes. It was the craziest thing. It was really weird. And she used to freak everybody out. And I really didn't understand it. And it actually scared me really bad. And the one that I remember the most vividly was being up north. And I know you guys are saying things. I'll recall the comments in a second. The one I remember the most vividly was being up north. And I had taken a boyfriend at the time. And it was like my dad and his girlfriend at the time, and my brother, and I think his friend or something. And we were all really, really tired. And we're just kind of like hanging out in this little cottage thing. And it was like everybody could see everybody else, even though we were technically like in the other rooms. You know what I mean? It was like all open. And my dad's girlfriend was making eggs, and my boyfriend and I were sitting at the table. My dad and my brother and his friend were in the living room, like watching SpongeBob or something stupid. And I remember having that feeling of deja vu and like looking at my boyfriend at the time and being like, I feel so weird. Like I was like, I feel like we've been here before, and I feel like this exact thing has happened. I was like, I feel like my dad's girlfriend, I won't say her name, but asks like my dad like if he wants 2 eggs or 3, and then like I feel, and then she goes, Dominic, do you need, oh, I just said my dad's name. Oh, well, Dominic's my dad's name. Do you want 2 eggs or 3 eggs? And my boyfriend at the time, like, almost shit his pants. I was like, that, I swear I did not plan that. Nobody could even hear me except him. And I started to feel like the room was closing in on me. And I was like, I need to go for a walk now. And I was walking, and I was like, there's a red truck that's going to pass us by. And then a red truck, like, drove right past us. And then, like, I can't remember. There was, like, 2 other things that happened. And I was like, I can't breathe. Like, I'm hyperventilating. Because you guys, I didn't know how to control my energy. And I didn't know how to block out from other energies. And I didn't understand how much those things mattered. Like, no one had explained that to me, or if they did, I was just not ready to listen to it, kind of thing. And so it was just kind of a shame, because the intensity of how I was experiencing things, if I would have learned to use it and not be such a stubborn ass in my teens, then I mean, maybe I could be doing even more amazing things than I am now. I don't know. And really helping people. I don't know. Maybe. Oh, man, this is rambly. Anyways, I got really scared after that particular situation because of the way that I felt, like, so out of control. I didn't like it. It freaked me out. It freaked everybody else around me out. Like, my boyfriend was like, what is going on? And so I remember, like, talking to my grandma about it. And this was before her and I were really close. So her and I didn't really get super, super close until after my grandpa passed and I started going over there. And I remember talking to her about it and her saying something like, if you don't want it, just tell it to go away. Because she was trying to explain to me, I'm like, what is it? Like, what's happening? She's like, just think of it as a sense of like a light switch. And right now it's on. Sometimes there's ways in which you can learn to turn it on and off, or you can just turn it off for good if you want. That's your choice. Just know once you turn it off, you know, you might have a harder time getting it back on, kind of thing. And I was like, I hate it. I don't like it. It gives me anxiety. Like, I don't feel good when it's happening. Like, I want it off. And she's like, well, tell it to go away and make it turn off. And that's what I did. And for years, I had no sort of experience like that at all. And it really just simply turned off and went away. And she's right. Like, it is not the same as when I was 15 and when I was so open and so like inept and stuff too. But it also wasn't healthy. Clearly, you could hear, that if that was a way that I probably could do that if I wanted to, but I know that that's not a healthy way to go about it. So I won't let myself get to that point, So I know that that's not really that wasn't really the question. The question was like, when's the first time you sensed spirit? But I think that they're both one and the same about sensing energy in general and like being able to pick up on certain things. Honestly, I feel like what was happening to me in my teens and early teens was more crazy than just like experiencing, somebody shouting my name in my ear. Like, actually prophesizing things before they were happening was so intense at 14 that you didn't understand like what was happening. Anyways, let me go back and read some of your guys' comments now, because that was a lot to digest, wasn't that? Sammy, have you read Woman Who Run with the Wolves? I'm reading it right now. It's taking forever, but it's so good. If I was done with it, I would have joined in on your current book club book. No, it's on my list. I really want to read it, and I haven't yet. I've heard good things about that book. Up next is The Rules of Magic. Nice. I get crazy deja vu. Angie, start asking yourself, like when you're in your deja vu, start thinking like, what is it about this experience that makes it feel familiar? And start asking yourself those things and start saying things out loud other than just crazy deja vu. Oh my gosh, deja vu, which is what we most revert to. Start to kind of digest it in a different way and try to take in the facts of how you're feeling and what you're sensing and like what about it consists it being or feeling like a deja vu. The introduction was life-changing. Oh my god, Sam, that's like crazy. I would get images and daydream almost, and I would think it's just me making shit up in my mind, and then they would happen, and then I realized what it was. Yeah. I didn't have anyone in my life either to guide me. That was a good answer. I love your story, Sam. Thanks. It's good, because they're like 20 minutes long. We've already been doing this for an hour. But honestly, you guys, there's not much color left. Like, I'm working on this green here. Then we have a little yellow and a little red, and then we're going to dry it, and we're going to outline it, and it's going to be beautiful. I'm so excited. All right. So what else do you guys want to know? What else do you guys want to know? Oh, God, Sam. Why I chose to manifest in a body with double air. Or not double air. Double Mercury. Man. I am meant to talk. Whether to myself, my spirits, or to somebody on the internet, or my loving, caring boyfriend who puts up with me talking all the time. I like sometimes fear that like you guys think that George is like miserable with me because of the way I talk about him. Honestly, he's the most caring, loving, supportive boyfriend ever. I wonder if you guys can see. Can you see my head? Me bending down like that? That's alright. You already saw my nostril a couple times. He honestly is such a great guy. And we just have different interests, I guess. And I kind of like it. But with everything, he's so supportive. And when, like, we've asked each other, like, what's something about me that you really like, and vice versa, and he always says, like, my ambition. Like, whatever it is that I'm into, like, I'm into it, and I'm really ambitious, and even though, like, I might know it might not be totally successful, I'm still gonna give 110% to it, and I'm still gonna be really, like, passionate about it. And so, in knowing that about him, and that's one of his favorite things about me, and knowing that a lot of my ambitions are different than his is really kind of romantic to me. The fact that he's still, like, most attracted to my ambition, even if it's about, eating vegan or tarot or stuff like that, or herbs and my, like, apothecary kind of thing. That's romantic to me. I don't know about you guys. But let's just gush about my boyfriend for a second. I hate when he works overnights. I'm not typically someone that's like, I can't be alone. That's not it. I enjoy spending time with him, and, like, I love my time alone. But there's just something about, like, when he works nights, it just bums me out. Like, I don't like going to sleep knowing that he's working. Like, it just bums me out. I end up never going to sleep. I don't sleep as good. Like, last night I was up until, like, 3 in the morning surfing Amazon. I already admitted that this morning. Okay, that was kind of tedious with all those leaves, so sorry about that. I think we're good. Let's pull out this. Let's get a little. Okay. What are you guys saying? Oh my gosh, you were saying a lot. Well, once I was just at work and then I started seeing an image of a lady hand on her hip standing and she was all dark in shadows with light behind her. Interesting. You're going to say more. When is your next live video collab and with who? I don't know. Heather, it's a good question. Sierra Rubin and I were going to go live on Instagram. She used to do musical, magical, I always mix it up. Magical Mondays. But I guess she's not doing that anymore. Excuse me. And I must have missed why, or maybe she didn't announce why. So we were supposed to go live actually today on Instagram. So I don't know. Who should I collab with? Who should I reach out to? I would love to collab with more people. I loved being on Simon's. I love when Imogen and I do our Instagram lives because she's one of my best friends. Angie said, and I ignored it and thought it was just me making things up in my mind, and then it happened. It was a friend of mine standing in a store with the sun shining behind her. I hadn't seen her in 2 years. Yes, Angie, I love it. Heather says, also, if you could do a live video with any YouTuber, even outside of spiritual community, who would it be? Jenna Marbles, hand down Jenna Marbles. Or Shane Dawson. Like, honestly, I love those two YouTubers so much. There's a lot of people I'd love to work with in the spiritual community, whether they're really, like, right now they're kind of out of my league, or maybe they're kind of more obtainable to do collabs with. There's a lot that I would love to connect with just because I don't know, I want to. But hands down, Jenna Marbles, Shane Dawson, they're hysterical, and I feel like I've been watching them for so long. Good question, Heather. Ashley says, I love hearing you talk about George like that. It reminds me of my husband. Aww. It is so strange how much I'm relating all the stuff you're saying. Is it strange or is it okay? Oh, wow, that's focused much better now. Literally my boyfriend is working overnights right now and I'm feeling the same way. Oh, Heather. Oh. Yes, Shane Dawson, I love him. I know, he's so good. I love him so. He's like the king of YouTube. I mean, he's just been on it for so long, and the content he's been pumping out lately is just top notch, if you ask me. Okay, you guys, we're going in on this yellow, and I don't know whether to do this yellow or this yellow. I think this yellow is more true, maybe mixing them together. Let's see what this looks like. Let's get a different part of the card here. Uh-oh. Woo! Ooh, sorry. That is a bright yellow. I feel like that's what we used on the other one, but we are going to mix a little bit of this other yellow in here and mute it down just a little bit. Oh my gosh. That is bright yellow, you guys. But, to be honest with you, we didn't even... Why did I use the same brush for everything? I never do that. That's kind of the yellow that I used before. I kind of would like to have some continuity and consistency with it. Let's put just a little bit more of this in here. Oh my gosh, that's bright ass yellow. I can't with that. Let's get a little bit more of this. Sorry guys, I'm trying to make this yellow here. That's not too much, right? That's good. There we go. We muted it down a little bit with that like ochre color. You might not see it on the camera, but I did mute it down, trust me. Oh, too much, Henny. Oh, no. Too much. Oh, no. Shit, it's too much now. Okay, that's good. I'm happy with that yellow. That's still bright AF. Oh, my God. Heather Young, for some reason Sam is that way. I can usually relate to her in some random ways. Stop. The Tiger's Abyss. Shane Dawson should do a video series on the tarot community subculture. Oh my god, he would kill that. Oh my god, when Shane went into that witchcraft shop, I almost died. Yay, you all watch Shane Dawson? I love it. I mean, a lot of people do, but I don't know, I feel like no one really talks about him in this community. Bright, blinding neon colors in the tarot deck would be interesting, but a pain to read because the cards would be too bright to look at. Like you were looking at the sun. Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, it is good. This yellow will mute down when it like dries. Yeah, it's gonna be bright, but so did the temperance card when I did the yellow, and honestly I kind of like how it came out, so we're gonna stick with this. I know that you guys are saying more things, but I'm just trying to use up this yellow. I'll go back and read per usual. I'm trying to use up this yellow that I just mixed before it dries on this cardstock, because I didn't mix it in the palette like a noob. I mixed it on the card, so it's gonna soak into this card, and I'm gonna lose this yellow I just worked to mix. Yeah, definitely Shane Dawson. I don't know, I love Jenna Marbles so much. Honestly, I don't know if I'd want to do a video with Jenna Marbles as much as I would just want to hang out with her. Like, I just love her so much. I don't want to collab with Shane, because not that Jenna's content isn't good, it's just, like, her content right now is her chilling and turning herself into a chair. So I feel like, I'd want to just hang with her and her boyfriend more than I would, like, want to collab or do, like, a interview or something with. Shane Dawson is just, oh no, it's really soaking into this watercolor stock. Why did I mix it on there? Such a noob. Ugh. Wow. I'm telling you guys, this is bright yellow, but in the cardstock, it is like, or cardstock, in the viewfinder, it is way more bright than it is in real life. I don't know if it's just the lighting or what, but I swear to you, it's not that bright. It is quite bright. What time is it? I don't even know. Should I be going to bed? I don't have to work tomorrow, so screw it. But I was so tired today. I got like no sleep last night. I don't know if I said this in my live stream earlier today, but I like sleep purchased some watercolor moth stickers from an Etsy shop in like Germany at like 2:40 in the morning. And I was like, I need to go to bed. What am I doing? Okay, hold on, let me go back now. Heather says, was that the episode with Graveyard Girl? Yeah, I think it was. Hi, Erin. Oh, I caught you live. Yay. Yay. I am just painting and talking about nothing. But thanks so much for joining. I haven't seen much of his most recent videos, but yes, I remember him and when he first got started. I totally recommend going to watch his videos now. He's so much different than when he first started, and his content is honestly the best in the game right now. Girl, what's your sign? Heather, what do you think my sign is? I am a Gemini. Come on. This visual, stop talking. Of course she's a Gemini. Well, not of course. There's a couple signs that could be closely related. But, I am a Gemini sun with a Virgo ascendant and a Taurus moon. So, Mercury, girl. I know how to communicate. Sometimes too much. I'm going back with this like yellow ochre color, and I don't know if it's translating in the camera because of how blinding yellow it looks, but I'm just kind of shading a little bit of this like ring around the top, like the inside top of the crown. Okay, all we need to do is the little red dots, and then we're gonna dry it, and we're gonna do the line work, which should go relatively quickly. Not super quickly, but we'll probably go for 2 hours. Pretty standard for my freaking... Why do I always live stream for like 2 hours? Who wants to watch a playback of a live stream that's 2 hours? You guys are crazy if you're watching this playback. I remember Jenna Marbles, but I haven't seen her recent stuff, but I loved her videos. Her stuff now is also very different too. I just love her as a person. Whose sign? My sign? I don't know what we're talking about anymore, Aaron. Shane is much more engaging these days, I think. I agree, Tiger's Abyss. Yeah, his content is like a series of a TV show that you just like can't wait to watch the next episode of, even if you're not invested in any of the characters, any of the plot line. It's just like the way the editing is and just him and like the way that it is. He gets you so invested, you know, in nothing, you know, really. Sometimes nothing, sometimes really cool stuff. Angie says, honestly, as a hairstylist, some of Jenna Marbles' new videos give me anxiety. Oh, I am sure. It's 10 over here, and I don't work tomorrow either. What time is it for me? Oh, it's 11. Okay. It's not that bad. I'm at work. I also work a night shift, but I love it so much. I like when I work night shifts if the rest of my life and loved ones are on a night shift. Sleep drunk e-purchases are so relatable. Yes. I'm an Aquarius with an Aquarius moon, very Aquarius. What's your ascendant? Do you know or do you not know your time? I love Aquarius energy. I have a ton of Gemini in my chart, so I can relate to the Gemini energy for sure. I think the longest live stream was like 5 or 6 hours. Oh, okay, well then I'm good. I'm good. Gemini sun, Cancer moon, Capricorn ascendant. Hey Tammy, nice Gemini twins. Yay. Shane legit belongs on Netflix now. He is. Okay, so that's the thing. Like, honestly, all those TanaCon videos by Shane were fantastic. And I literally don't care about Tana. If you guys don't know what we're talking about now, Shane Dawson made like a 3-part mini series about this like event called TanaCon. What color are these? They're pretty red, but like I think I'm gonna mix this like orangey color. Whoa, girl, that is orange. And this browny red. And she like tried to put on this like convention, and it just was a shit show. And he did a little mini series about it. I don't care for the YouTuber. I know who she was. I don't like her content. Don't really like what she stands for. I don't like how she got to where she's at. Good for her. It's just like why I'm bringing up why I don't like her isn't just to bash her for no reason. It's just to say, like, I did not care. Like, I did not care at all. And for some reason, I could not wait for the videos to come out. Like, I had no investment in it at all. Like, did not care. But I cared so much because the way he edited his videos. Oh, you know what? I should dry the crown for a second to make sure it doesn't bleed into the yellow. Okay, again, it's not very loud, but if you are wearing headphones, just, like, watch your ears. Okay. I feel like, why is it so bright? Shay needs to bring back his podcast. Oh, he wants to, I'm sure, Tiger's Abyss, but whatever. Can't remember what the company was that was, like, funding it. It dropped them or is no longer able to fund it kind of thing. I really liked his podcast, but Tiger's Abyss, do you listen to Jenna and Julian's podcast? I just listened to it earlier. That is too much ink. Too much ink. And I really love their podcast. It's like, I think it's just called Jenna and Julian's podcast. J&J. The Dink Fam. Yeah, I was listening to their podcast earlier. I have a hard time with podcasts, and I feel like I'm like the only one. Because for me, it's like I'm either watching a YouTube video or I'm listening to an audiobook. And the only reason why I listen to podcasts is because a friend made it or because it's like a favorite YouTuber that's doing it. And to be honest with you, Jenna and Julian put their podcasts up on YouTube to watch. So I'm still watching them do their podcast, which is kind of weird. Anybody else feel that way? Is it just me? No, just me? Cool. I'll go home. Oh, I'm sorry. This is so detailed. I have 2 more little dots and then we're good to go here. And I'll read some of your comments again. Okay. It's pretty intense red. I might pick some of that red back up in the shrubbery, just because it doesn't really show up in the shrubbery all that much, but it does in the crown. Okay, that's a little better. Okie dokie, there's the color. It doesn't look like much, but when I put the lines in, and I think I'm going to go back, we'll see what happens with some white Sharpie and kind of go over and highlight this area. What are you guys saying now? Oh gosh, I'm sorry, I missed so much. I'm either listening to a video or a podcast. I need to listen to more music. My favorite podcast is called Self-Service. They go over tarot and astrology and all things spiritual. It's great. Heather, send me a link to that. I'm in on that. Yeah, I had to listen to podcasts when I am doing other things or it's a topic of interest. I tend to only listen to podcasts when I am focusing on listening comprehension in target language. Ooh, you lost me a little bit on that comment. I'm sorry. Hey, it's me, Damien. When is the moon box? Hey, Damien, I just got my moon box today, and I'm going to post on Instagram probably when I get done with this, then I'm going to go live tomorrow. I don't know what time. I kind of would like to do it in the morning-ish afternoon, but typically I do my live streams for the moon box in the evening, but I'm going to my grandma's in the evening. So I don't know. What time do you guys want me to open it? Do you want me to open it tomorrow? I really like And That's Why We Drink podcast. It's a true crime and paranormal podcast that makes me snort laugh. That's awesome. Yeah, I don't know. What time do you guys want me to go live? All right, let me dry the whole thing one more time, and then I can start drawing in the lines, okay? Okay. Okay, what are you guys saying? I can't wait to see you open your moon box. I got my first one, so I hope I can catch your live on it. Ooh, me too. Ashley, did you already open yours? I'm sure you did. It's kind of hard to wait, especially for me. Like, who wants to wait? All right, I'm going to get this out of the way a little bit now that we're done with that, so I can get in on this line work here. Close this up. Move this out of the way a little bit. What's happening? I have washi tape stuck to my finger. What's your IG? My Instagram is @Cloud9Studios. If somebody could write that out, because it's all spelled out, but if someone could help me out and write that out, I would really appreciate it. Yeah, I post a lot of my updates on my Instagram story and stuff of when I'm going live and stuff like that, so it's easier, I feel, to keep up with things like on the fly. Thanks so much, you guys, for posting that in there. I really appreciate that. I did open it. I couldn't wait. I do not blame you, Ashley. Is that right, Sam? Yes, both of you are correct. Thank you so much for doing that. So anybody watching the playback as well, if you can see the comments and you want to follow me on Instagram, I keep my story pretty up to date regularly. And I'm announcing things like, you know, when I go live and that jazz. Oh, why am I going back with watercolor? Just leave it be. It's fine, Sam. Such a perfectionist. But I can see all these little holes that, like, I didn't actually put the color in all the way. Okay, I'm done. I swear. Where's my pen? To make sure I have a good line. Oh, that's not the one. That's not the one, Henny. Maybe. Seems a little thick. It seems the same, but it writes a little better. Let me see what my other one was. I feel like that's good. The only thing is I didn't do the bottom of the card where it says Ace of Swords, but that's okay. I'm not going to go back now. All right, you guys ready? Let's see how good I can do this. It's fantastic, Erin. She's an herbalist who talks about plant wisdom and ancestry, and she has the most soothing voice and has great interviews. Who's that? Who are you talking about? I want to know. Yes, come on, I want to know. All right, let's go in on this line work a little bit. Let's see what we can do. Did I outline the last one? I don't know why I'm so in on having this be like consistent. No, I didn't. Okay. All right. Kind of anxious watching you draw lines. Why? Don't be anxious. It's only hard when I get started just because I have to get in like a flow of it. So I pick like the easy stuff. And to be honest with you, I might not be able to read the comments as much. So it's fine. But this stuff is way more interesting to watch without me saying anything. I already know it is. And if I mess up, I mess up. Happy little trees. We'll draw happy little trees. Bob Ross fans in the house, raise your hand. Talk amongst yourselves, I guess, for this portion. Or I'll probably try and answer another question or something, but I gotta get in the groove before I start doing too many things at once. I just went in on the sword. I didn't waste no time, did I? Like, let me warm up and start with the most important part of the picture. Well, I guess get it over and done with, huh? What are you guys saying? Reminds me of Kelly and her Bob Ross playing card deck. I love Kelly. You leaving, Heather? I loved watching him as a kid, especially when he would make the swoosh swoosh sounds. If someone's leaving and I missed it, goodbye. Thank you for joining and hanging out with me. I think I want to do these little squigglies. I feel like the marker I'm using is a bit thin, but that's okay. The ASMR community loves Bob Ross. Yes! I know, should I just like start like doing this as I'm coloring in here? Probably not. I don't know if I'd be good at ASMR. You know who hates ASMR is Imogen. Imogen Walters cannot stand ASMR. It makes me want to send her creepy videos all the time, like, hi, welcome to my live stream. Today we're going to be coloring a sword. Just like freak her out. I feel like I would just be breathing heavily through the... Yeah, that's what I just did. That's what I just did. Okay. Got a little detail in there. Anybody have any questions or things that they want me to talk about? Because I can't keep checking the comments. Did you see they started selling Bob Ross painting set? I saw them at Hobby Lobby last night. I need it. That would be hilarious. Although I haven't watched ASMR videos in a while because I watched too many ASMR videos and lost my tingles. I never get the tingles. There's been ASMR channels and stuff where I'm like, ooh, I really like you. I like the way you're going about that. But then there's been others where I'm just like, that drives me crazy. Not a fan. So it's kind of hit or miss for me. It's just not my thing. I don't not like it. But it isn't my thing. Okay, I might be moving this so you guys can't see it, but deal with it. What do you guys... Give me something to talk about. I don't know what to talk about. This is like a first... Unless you just don't want me to talk. That's cool too, because this honestly is so pleasing to watch. I have to watch them when I am trying to relax or go to sleep. Okay, randomly, what would you think about us all getting together somewhere like a witchy vacay? New Orleans? Oh my god. Otherwise they can get really irritating. Yeah, I would love that. Yeah, I would love that. And I'm planning on doing quite a bit of traveling in the next year, 6 months kind of thing. I don't have anything booked yet, but I'm pretty positive I'm going to a few places. And I've really thought about being like, all right, I'm going to be here. Anybody who's here, just like let me know. But at the same time, I'm going to be in there for such short periods of time. And to be honest with you, like I haven't had any problems with anybody, but like I am fearful a little bit of my safety. Like I still have to be like smart about it, you know? So there's parts of me that is so down, but is also very like nervous to do something like that. But I promise you that if I decide that I'm gonna like announce or whatever, I would totally let you guys know for sure. That I was gonna be somewhere or that like I wanted to do a meetup. I know that there's a couple people in the community that's doing a meetup. Kittens, Weights, and Tarot is doing one. I don't know if she still is, but I remember her talking about it. They were all talking about it for a while. And I was like, oh my god, I want to go. But it just didn't work out for timing. And the location is like really expensive for me to get tickets to, kind of thing. It's like out in California, I think. So, yeah. What else are you guys saying? I considered the UK Tarot Conference, but I don't think I will be around for it in terms when and where I'm traveling. You should do a Michigan meetup. Yeah, I guess I could always just be like, okay, if you guys want to hang out, come to me. If it's on a Sunday, I'll drive to Michigan, not too far from me. Oh my god, I would love that. Listen, I would totally set up a meetup in Michigan. I have pepper spray in my car. I bought it for when I moved to LA. I told my husband maybe like in a year we could take the kids to Michigan to see new things and maybe I could finally meet you. Oh my gosh, please. You could totally come stay with me. Would love that, Heather. I'm back in a small town in Wisconsin though, so no need for pepper spray. Yeah, I had pepper spray when I was living and going to school in Detroit. It was something, let me tell you. Honestly, it's not that bad in Detroit, but I still had my experiences, which sucked really bad. Like, my apartment was robbed, and I watched somebody trying to steal my car. And just, like, not cool stuff, you know? But honestly, it could happen anywhere. It's, like, not just Detroit. Detroit gets a really bad rap. I think there's bad parts to every city. Oh, all right. I'm trying not to smudge what I just did. The hand looks really weird out of context, but that's literally how it's drawn. And I think once I start like getting in all the lines and stuff, the rest of the lines, it'll look better. But because it kind of looked weird when I was sketching it out, and then when I put all the lines together, I was like, oh, okay, it's looking more like the tarot card. But again, that's like stuff that I'm learning about the card and like the way that some of the things are set up and the way that certain things are drawn that I would never have seen or noticed. I'm determined to make our witchy bonfire night happen because, you know, we're neighbors and all. We are! And we had a bad year of robbery on our main street where the salon is located. No, we're not actually neighbors. It's just like a little joke. We're all neighbors in this community, though. Okay. Really like ball on the end of here. It's so cool, like the ball. Maybe you guys are even noticing certain things about the card that you didn't before, watching me paint and drew the line work in it. Yeah, we're neighbors, but we're not like in the next city over or anything. But yeah, we are, and relatively speaking, we are close to each other. Come on over. Let me finish these. That probably bothered some of you. It would have bothered me. I didn't notice that I didn't finish this part. I am itching to take my contacts out. It's just a joke we say. There is a little baby moth attacking my screen. Stop. Are you kidding? Is it really? Are you just saying that? Do you know that that's my spirit animal? One of them? Or is that like really, really happening right now? Because that's pretty cool. Love me some moths. I'm going to be quiet for a second because I really don't want to mess this part up. Let me put on a live stream and then just not say anything. Why not hang out with you guys if I'm just going to be doing the same thing though? We all are making and doing crafts together. How cool is that? That's what's so cool about online community. Like, I never would have noticed the inconsistency and like the almost the weirdness of these little lines on the hands for shading if I wouldn't have you and George to come to Cedar Point with us sometime. Oh my gosh. I'm going to Cedar Point in September with my friend Skylar, and I'm so excited. But yeah, we would love to. We have a camper. Heather, we could always come down and meet you guys and do a Cedar Point day for sure. My meditation last night was so cool. I was riding a falcon. Tammy. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. What an awesome meditation. All right. Maybe I should quit avoiding the crown, huh? Huh? It's coming together now that the lines are... I don't remember who it was, but one of you goes, I'm so nervous watching you do the line work. That's cute. If I mess up, I mess up. What are you gonna do? I don't know. Nothing. I'll fix it the best I can. Ooh. I would have liked to make the dot on this one bigger. But it is what it is. There's so much detail. Okay, give me something to talk about so I can do this and talk. I followed your IG. Thanks so much. That's awesome. Hey, what is everyone's age, if you guys don't mind me asking? Yeah, cool. Talk amongst yourselves. You're awesome, Angie. 25, 19, 13, 48. Oh my gosh, the range of what we got here, turning 40 next month. Yay! Oh, that's awesome. I am... How the hell old am I? I'm 28. 22, 28, 24. Lots of different ages though, you guys. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm 28. Just turned 28 in May. I think I forget my age a lot because George is 40. So we have quite a bit of difference between us, and I feel like I I feel like he forgets his age and thinks he's younger, and vice versa for me. Like, I always feel like I'm in my 30s already. And I don't even mean it to be like, I'm an old soul, which, to be honest with you, I feel like I am. But it's not even much, it's not even that. It's more so because I think everyone I hang out with and our friends and everything are, you know, George's age or around there and stuff. He is, wow, in the pics you guys couldn't tell. My husband just turned 40 Friday. Yay! Yeah, George, it's so unfair that guys get better looking as they age, but, yeah, he is 40. He'll be 41 in November. Little Scorpio devil. Love me some Scorpio energy. Ooh, see, I didn't like that line I just made. I will figure it out. I will work it out, you guys. I'll make it work. Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do for his birthday. We didn't really get to do a whole lot for his birthday last year, and he turned 40. It sucks, because, like, since I've known him, he was like, when I turn 40, I'm gonna go whitewater rafting. His birthday's in frickin' November, and we live in Michigan. It's, like, impossible. It's, like, impossible to get that to happen. So I kind of blew that one. I agree with 8 birthday. Oh, I'm missing so much. I'm sorry, guys. But you seem to be talking amongst yourselves, which is great. Can you guys see this coming together or what? How's this going? We don't have that much more left to do. I'm missing. My ascendant is Scorpio. Love me some Scorpio. I mean, I love all the signs. Definitely not picking favorites because I have come in contact with some very difficult Scorpio energy. Don't get me wrong, not everything's amazing about any of the signs, but found me a good Scorpio energy. Oh my god, it's so hard to see the detail in this little part. Oh my gosh. I gotta find. So what time do you guys think I should do my unboxing of the Witch's Moon tomorrow? What's everybody's votes? Yes, Queen, it's looking good. Thank you, Heather. Looking amazing. Thanks, Angie. I don't have any fire in my chart. Ooh. Everybody has some sort of fire in your chart, but I feel you, Tammy. I have very little to no fire in my chart as well. Hey, I'm here. Hey, Damien. What signs do you seem to connect with the most? In which ways? Like friendship-wise? Because I feel like I connect to certain energies for certain things differently. You know what I'm saying? Like relationship-wise. Friendship-wise, I work really well with Virgos, Pisces, Libras, Capricorn. I just named like all the signs. I get along with all the signs. I mean, I'm mutable. I'm a Gemini, to be honest with you. Signs I have difficulty with like relationship wise is Aries. Just me personally, because I have really great Aries friends, but relationship wise for me, I have a difficult time with Aries and Leo. Fire, to be honest with you. Romantically, it's hard for me to feel like connected and that's just me. But friendship wise, or, you know, otherwise, I really like Aries, and I have really great friends that are Aries. My papa, who I loved like the most of anybody, he was a Leo. He was a great depiction of a Leo. Like Leo energy at like its finest, you guys. He was just so awesome. He was so playful. He just like always had games for my brother and I to play. Like when we'd come into the house, he'd play like what's new and what's different, and we'd have to like first thing like try and find what was different in the house. Like if my grandma bought new placemats, or if we put out new decorations, or if they moved like a plant from one side of the room to the other. And like he was just so good with kids, and he just loved to play and to interact, but he was still so grounded and like safe and secure feeling because he had 5 planets in Taurus. So I also related to him on that level because I said my moon is in Taurus. So he's so grounded and like practical. Just such a good guy. This just turned into me gushing about my grandpa. What a good guy he was. But I'd say friendship-wise, I mean, I have never dated a Scorpio up until this point. So I've tried to date Aquariuses, and it went okay. But I don't think it would ever have lasted long term. You can get along with any sign. It just depends. It just depends. Almost 2 hours. What are you guys saying? I'm a Scorpio. I love Scorpio. They bring me fire. I work good with Aquarius, Taurus, Pisces. I vote for 11 or 12 because I don't wake up in the morning. Yeah, I'm not doing it tomorrow earlier than that. I do my Witchy book club at 9 so that I don't, do it in the middle of my day off. But for July and August, I have Tuesdays off because it's slower at work. And because I didn't get much sleep last night, I am not doing it earlier than like 11. Sorry. I'm going to vote for any time in between like noon and 2. So if you guys are wondering, that's probably around the time where I'm going to do it. But I don't even know if I want to set a time. It's just like so many of you guys look forward to opening it with me, and a lot of you are waiting, and so I kind of want to give you like a time that I'm going to open it so you guys can look forward to it. But I also don't want to feel pressured into like, I don't know. I want it to be fun for me too, and I don't want to feel like it's becoming work. I want to have a good, healthy balance of hustle and ambition, but also still enjoying what I'm doing, kind of thing. Like I don't want to get burnt out. And I can see that easily happening. I don't think it's currently happening, but I can see how it could easily happen, if that makes sense. So I'm just like go, 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 go until I can't go anymore. Hence burnout. We're making our way through this. Honestly, I don't love the way that this is drawn either. The lines like seem unnatural. Also, I'm a perfectionist. All right, I'm really losing my vocabulary here, guys. What else? Do you guys have any other questions for me? Because we're getting to the end here, but I still have quite a bit to do at the same time, and I don't want to just be sitting on the dead air here. Can you see what I'm doing, or am I totally blocking it when I go in for the kill here? I've seemed to only have dated Taurus, and my husband is a Taurus, which is my moon sign, so I find that interesting. Emotionally, you're connected and you understand that energy very easily, so it makes sense that you would want to be with somebody of that energy. But also, you could be with someone of that energy and they could be using completely opposite aspects of Taurus than you are used to or that you like, you know? Okay. Well, how can you just pick one? What's your favorite crystals? I've seen, okay, what's your favorite crystals? The way that I work with crystals, I feel like it's different than how people typically use crystals. I think that I more so use crystals for their color aspects than I do for their energy aspects. Unless I have a crystal that really is intensely calling to me and I'm picking up their energy like really intensely, I use them for like almost like color therapy. So it really depends on what I need them for. But probably amethyst is one of my first crystal loves. Always be one of my crystal loves. I love rose quartz, but mostly just because it's a really pretty pink. What do I love? I love moonstone. I would say probably moonstone's my favorite. I feel that one most intensely. I'd say my most commonly used crystal is probably just clear quartz. But I don't think it's like my favorite. It's just my most used. This is coming out so cute, you guys. I'm so happy with this. Someone's like, yep, I know it, moonstone. I didn't see who said that. I just saw the comment. But you cute. Oh my gosh, this is so satisfying. I don't know how satisfying it is to watch, if you guys can see this really well, but this is so satisfying. What else can I talk about here? 2 hours and I'm holding strong. Funny you should say that about amethyst. Yeah, man, I think amethyst is my first love for crystal. I just feel really connected with it. It's very similar to the energies of lavender, which is my favorite herb. My favorite herbs are mugwort, lavender. You know, I really like lemon balm, which is like not really talked about, I don't think, as much. Really love lemon balm. Not that you asked me about my herbs, but I'm gonna tell you about them. What do I use a lot? I use a lot of lavender. It's just such a all-purpose, really connected spiritual herb for me. I don't use mugwort a lot, but I would. I'm very cautious with mugwort because it's so intense for me that even if I'm not making the blend or the oil for somebody else, wait, I just zoned out of myself for a second. Even if I'm making the blend for somebody else, I still try to use it sparingly because I'm putting the energy into it. And I know how much it just like, it's really powerful when I use it. So, but I really like mugwort. What are you guys saying here? Amethyst feels calming. I love mint. I love valerian root, growing it in the garden as well, although I don't love the smell of valerian root. My lavender plant died. Oh no. We'll say a little goodbye for your lavender plant. Did you name it? Sometimes it helps. Giving it a little name and a personality helps it to want to stay alive. My lavender plant is doing really well, actually. I put it in a spot on my porch, which I did not think it was going to like. And I'm pleasantly surprised with how it came out. It's doing pretty good. It hasn't flowered or anything, but I don't know if it will, but it smells amazing. It's like so green and luscious. I barely do anything to it, which is always great when you can be like pretty low maintenance. I mean, it's not that big of a deal if I had to be, because the rest of the plants around it are pretty high maintenance. So I'm kind of in that area working with them anyways, but I'm really impressed at how it's doing. We're almost coming to the end here, guys. Okay. Oh no, what did you think happened to it? Lavender's tricky. Probably not enough water at the right time. It's the only one to have died in the backyard. Yeah, see, lavender can be really tricky. Like, it either needs like a ton of sunlight and water, or it needs to be left alone. It like really depends on what you put it in, if you put it in the ground, or if it's in a pot, or what. Mine's in a pot, sort of. Like, it's not in the ground, but it's not in like an actual pot. And it's getting semi-sun, semi-shade, and I just thought it was just going to need so much more light than that, and so much more water than I've been giving it. And it just really doesn't need it. Alright, we're going to do the last part down here, and I think we're going to go back with the white gel pen and do the illuminated part. So happy that you guys joined me and just hung out with me. There's times where I didn't really say much, but that's okay. I loved that you guys were doing crafts with me and telling me about it. That's pretty cool. I have just wanted to do this again since I did it in January. It was such a good exercise. I highly, highly, highly recommend that you guys do this. Even if you're like scared because you don't really know how to paint or whatever it is. Like I said, you could even trace them. Trace the cards somehow, like through a window. Like tape your card as gently as possible with like painter's tape or something that's a very gentle tape that will not stick to your card and ruin it. Stick it on the window. Find a piece of paper, place it over, because the natural light will illuminate the card from behind, and you should, in theory, if the cardstock isn't too thick, it should be, that's how it's really easy to trace things, but you should be able to trace the card if you can't draw it yourself, or you think that you can't draw it. And I really recommend doing this because studying each and every line on the card, like I said, is a really great way to become super intimate with it on a different level than you would think. Okay. What do you think, you guys? Yay! Let's get that white gel pen out. Let me see. Now I want to know what you named your lavender plant. Mine are Tiger's Abyss. We have had so much rain this year in Georgia, and it's been tricky working with the herbs like that, like it drier. I had to move a couple of mine into the containers, so I bring them inside when I need. Wow, Sam, that looks so good. Thanks, Heather. Gotta find my gel pen. I think my white gel pen's in my bullet journal stuff. Oh no, nope, yeah, I think it is. Which is right next to me down in the drawer. Wow, that's amazing. Thanks, Cat's Alchemy. I do want to study each tarot card better. Listen, even getting one of those coloring books, I'm backing you guys up for a minute so I can get, it's just my drawer, so I can get in here and get the white gel pen. Oh, I can get it out. I know I can get it out. Awesome. Where is my white gel pen? And then I'm going to get off brush my teeth, get in bed, and possibly go through some more Etsy shops. Because why not? They have tarot coloring books. They do. I don't have one, but yeah, they do. If somebody has one, then they can like point Angie in the right direction here. All right, let's make sure I don't F this up and that my white gel pen's working. Doesn't look like it is. I might have to use, let's get this other pen out here. What do you guys think? Oh, I'm so happy about it. It came out so good. This is such an awesome feeling to just kick out a little painting in a night. None of my gel pens are working. So we might just, oh, okay. Thank you so much for suggesting coloring books to her. All right, let's go back. You're probably not going to see it all that much, but that's okay. I just want to get all the details. Yeah, you can barely see that. Oh, well. I'm still going to do it. I can see it. I highly doubt you can see it in the camera. Yeah, you can't see that in the camera. The lighting is definitely different. But you can't really see that illuminate. It'll just be our little secret. But I still want to acknowledge it because it's there. It's illuminated. Oh, come on. Alright, guys. I think I'm going to go. I'm going to do this last part myself. You can't even really see it. Thank you guys so much for watching. It looks perfect, Sam. Thanks. I don't know about perfect, but it did definitely come out better than I had anticipated. Again, you just never know. So thanks for joining me. There's so many little details and things about the card that you just don't notice. So let me show you again. Here was my Temperance card. See that yellow? It definitely is bright, but it's cool. Awesome. Thanks so much for hanging out with me tonight, you guys. My tea. I drank almost all of it, but it did go cold on me. 2 hours and 12 minutes. I love you all so much. I will announce when I'm going live to do the Moonbox probably tonight and then again tomorrow. So check my Instagram if you want to try and catch that live tomorrow. Again, I said it's probably going to be anywhere between noon and 2. I had fun watching you paint. Thanks for having us. Yeah, thanks everybody so much. I love you, and I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful, magical evening or morning wherever you're at in the world or whenever you're it. I love you. Good night.